What's up guys, Lincoln here. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Dread Captures. This week, we're looking to bring you a video that really gets your adrenaline pumping. So without further ado, let's get right into the captures. Can you imagine if you were just walking through your living room and you notice your dog staring intently out of the glass? Curious, you take a peek and you see this massive mountain lion pawing at your window?
On our patio. He wants to eat my dog. Dash. Dash, get back. Dash. 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 Get away. Dash, come here. Dash. Oh my God, dumb dog. Dash.
The dog, named Dash, deserves some credit here. He does not back away from that cat. Look at how the lion paws at the window. Like, dang, dinner is so close yet so far away. Here's a really wild video from Missouri. A homeowner shows amazing courage when his dog was suddenly attacked by a coyote in their backyard. Check this out. The video catches the moment when the homeowner, just carefully checking out the surroundings, sees his dog run towards a neighbor's place with a coyote right behind it. In a split second, the homeowner steps in, stopping the coyote from getting to the small dog. What happens next is incredible. He snatches this coyote up and lifts him off the ground. The man then goes over and puts the coyote in a dumpster and shuts the top. This is a powerful example of how far someone might go to keep their pet safe. Keith reaches out to Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization with a mixture of curiosity and reverence. I'm going to read the actual email he sent. Good evening, RMSO. My name is Keith and I come from the North Cheyenne Nation. I have in my possession a trail camera photo that might just capture the elusive Bigfoot. The owner of the photo, also a member of our tribe, snapped this near a spring on the land where he grazes his cattle. Now, like us, the RMSO team is pumped to receive this. It's an exceptional discovery, and these guys have their own collection of trail cameras and other types of videos as well. Now, the guys back at RMSO said they'd put the various light filters on it like they did before with the other photo. I mean, this really is a striking picture if you look at it. I mean, there's a distinct shape, elongated arms, it has the characteristic dome head, and look how broad its shoulders are. I really need to follow up on this. I hope they're able to unearth some further details. But to me, this is really incredible. This is such a clear photo. Okay, now this is super eerie. A cruise ship starts to make an unscheduled U-turn when the captain spots an orange life raft in the middle of the ocean. I just have to say, something like this is one of my worst nightmares, as I'm sure it is for many people. I guess the only thing that could make it worse would be not having a raft. Look how hard it is to see that, nearly impossible. Wow, my adrenaline started pumping watching this. As it gets closer, there looks like there are people or a person on there. And there are. What an incredible event. I had to go to the comments on this one and I found this from someone named Alex. Alex says, "Fortunately, this story has a remarkable and uplifting twist. The life raft in question belonged to the ill-fated Two Brothers, a ship that sank off the coast of the Dominican Republic. Miraculously, all passengers from the Two Brothers survived their ordeal at sea. In a display of incredible seamanship and compassion, 6 of them were rescued by a Carnival cruise ship, and another 6 were found clinging to floating wreckage, all of whom were brought to safety." Just incredible. This next photo was in a group of photos posted on Reddit, and when I saw it, I could not believe the number of comments it had gotten. Check it out. The picture supposedly shows a person peeking through the crack of a door into a bathroom and looking at this guy. The guy says he's freaked out and snapped a picture of it. Commenters have thrown a multitude of guesses around. Some are calling BS, but a majority of the people see the creature, person, figure, whatever it is, and claim they would be freaked out too. Now, I can definitely see something in the crack of the door, but I feel like it's nearly impossible to make out what it is. After looking at it a few times and concentrating really hard, I can see what one might think is a face. One commenter said that the figure has face paint on. Heck, I don't know. The OP says he was home alone, and I think he's being honest about that because, well, he's using the bathroom with the door wide open. I'm having a hard time getting around the thought process of an intruder entering my home, shocking me while I'm sitting on the toilet, then whipping out my phone, snapping a picture, scrolling for the skull emoji, posting it to Snapchat and Reddit. Maybe I'm a boomer. Oh my goodness, this is not what you want to see. Holy heck. This kid caught on film as a sitting duck to this big old black bear that has wandered into a neighborhood. All of a sudden, a man appears and scares the bear off. Wow, that poor kid, man, I know he was terrified. As we watch it again, the guy gets out of his vehicle because he sees the kid is in trouble. It looks like he and his wife were leaving the neighborhood and happened upon this. Wow. What a guy. The way people are these days, sadly, many might have stayed in the truck. But not this hero here. I truly think that that guy saved that kid's life. Wow. I mean, when I tell you that I dug this story and this photo out of the depths of the supernatural archives of Reddit, please believe. This picture tells the tale of the Martinez dog demon, a paranormal mystery captured in a photograph that has puzzled and terrified those who have seen it for years. The story begins with Joe and Patty Martinez, a couple who, while celebrating a friend's 50th wedding anniversary, unknowingly became the subjects of an eerie and unexplained phenomenon. As they smiled for a photograph, little did they know that this snapshot would reveal more than just memories. For lurking behind Joe, there appeared a sinister dog-like entity, an entity not seen by anyone during the event, and absolutely not supposed to be there. The photograph became a striking example of occurrences where unseen figures make unexpected appearances, leaving more questions than answers. What makes this case particularly unsettling is not just the creature's ghastly appearance, but also the troubled background of the man it chose to lurk behind, Joe Martinez. Joe had been wrestling with a deep-seated drug addiction, a battle that he described as soul-destroying. This addiction remained a secret tormentor, eating away at him, yet he managed to keep it hidden from those around him. Despite the struggles within, Joe and Patty attended the anniversary, unaware that this photograph would change their lives forever. Upon discovering the demonic figure in the photo, Patty and Joe were shocked. There were no dogs at this event, and no explanation for the creature's presence. Patty saw it as a manifestation of Satan himself, a common interpretation by many. Joe, however, interpreted it differently. He saw it as a stark representation of the battle raging within him. The fight between good and evil. Patty represented the good, the light guiding him out of the darkness, while the demon symbolized the evil, the addiction that had consumed so much of his life. Taking it as a sign, Joe embarked on a relentless fight against his addiction, with the photograph serving as a powerful reminder of what he was battling against. It's said that Joe carries this photo in his wallet, a personal reminder to never give up and to fight the darkness of his past. While Joe's struggle with addiction found a semblance of resolution, the mystery of the Martinez dog demon remains unsolved, a topic of fascination and fear in the world of paranormal enthusiasts and beyond. It stands as a creepy reminder that sometimes the camera sees more than the eye. This video is so funny. This lady announces that her pet duck Adam is going for his first swim, and this guy just books it out of there. I mean, I was dying. I must be missing something. Is that even a duck? Did anyone else know they could do that? Like, what in the world? Look at that thing just skirt across the water like that. There's no way that's a duck. Well, at least not the ducks I'm used to. The little pond ducks. A lady in the comments said Adam wasn't a pet, he was a hostage. I don't know, but him running on that water really threw me. Really cool clip here. At the beginning of the clip, we hear the storm siren go off. We slowly see the trees begin to sway and the wind is picking up. As I keep watching, all I'm thinking is, look at that trash can. There's always that one guy on the street that leaves his trash can out for days. Well, today is not the day for that because it is quickly going to become a projectile. The rain's starting to come in and the wind's picking up even more. The trash can is on its last legs and then swoosh, it's gone and all hell is breaking loose. Look at this, the wind is insane. Look at that tree that gets uprooted. Just nuts. In this next intriguing clip, we dive into the mysterious case of the Mika Hulk. The Mika Hulk is a colossal creature that found its way onto a trail camera in the wilds near Tucson, Arizona. Okay, so a trail camera perched above the ground at a vantage point of about 10 feet peers down into a dry creek bed and captures this startling image. The guys at RMSO enhanced the image with various light filters to give us a clearer view of our subject. The story comes from a guy named BH who recounts the tale on behalf of a friend, the owner of the trail camera. The first thing they want us to know is that this is not your ordinary backyard sighting. This camera was strategically placed on a tree in the woods, capturing anything that walked on this path. Well, it did just that, and captured this absolute behemoth peering directly into the lens. As we look at it, it's almost like it's acknowledging that it's being filmed. Now, there are a few things that stick out about this photo, no doubt, but let's talk about its size. Are we able to capture the size of this creature from the photo? Well, the camera is stationed 10 feet off the ground, and the creature's looking right into the camera, so it's at least 10 feet tall. The guys say they couldn't really make out the width of the body, but you can see the shoulders in the picture. Personally, the first thing that sticks out to me is this red eye. I mean, what is that? If this is not a hoax, this really is quite the picture. The head is gigantic. To me, the thing looks bald too, and I can see the unmistakable outline of a nose, mouth, chin. Again, I know they said they can't see the torso, but if you look at the width of the blurred part where his body would be, I reckon he's pretty big. Now, this was a pretty long interview that I condensed, and these guys were hung up about the proportions, how big this guy was. The million-dollar question to me is, what is it? Are we looking at a Bigfoot? Because it doesn't look like one. The creature has been dubbed the Mika Hulk, which it does kind of look like a Hulk, or something else from a Marvel movie. I don't know, I'd like to know what everyone else thinks. Again, if not a hoax, pretty incredible. This next clip is sure to get your adrenaline pumping. Look as this shark tails this paddleboarder. I mean, this guy is right behind her, waiting for her to make a mistake. So a little backstory here is that the lady that's being filmed is part of a relay team, and they are in a race from Florida to the Bahamas.
Sit down. Yep. Gabe, stay there. Gabe. Gabe.
This is why he should not.
Gabe. 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 Hammerhead shark right here. Gabe, stay there.
In the video, you can hear the man encouraging her to keep coming. Then he says, "Sit down." No, I'm not sitting down. Move out of my way and let me jump in that boat. The camera moves over to where we see another team member kneeling on his board, and they start telling him to stay still, that there's a big hammerhead directly under his board. Now, I guess the worry here isn't really falling off, but it's being knocked off, right? Paddleboards are pretty sturdy, but not if you have a massive shark ram into it. In a tucked-away town hugged by mountains, there used to be an elementary school that echoed with the sounds of kids for decades. As time went by, the school aged and the decision was made to tear it down. Just before it was demolished, a local photographer, one who had actually gone to school there, got curious. He slipped inside with just his cell phone and started snapping pictures of the empty halls and dusty classrooms. He says he was really trying to capture the last bits of a place filled with so many memories. The photographer took dozens and dozens of pictures, just snapping away. Afterward, when he uploaded the pictures, something odd caught his eye. One photo didn't just show the peeling paint and cracked tiles. There was something else. It looked like a little kid. Just a shadowy outline standing there. Now, many are quick to say that this is just a trick of light. Others swear it's the ghost of a past pupil that's passed away and has made this old school their home. That is definitely a spooky thought. This photo and story still floats around the town, and it's turned into their local ghost story. And just a little side note, the photographer that took the shot is adamant that he does not believe in the paranormal. He might now. This video really is crazy. These high voltage power lines are sparking like mad. Captured in a Florida neighborhood, the video shows what happens when two power lines touch by accident. Look at the way it sparks, then zips down the entire length of the lines. Happens over and over.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
In the video, you can hear people screaming in the background. These kinds of mishaps are super dangerous though. They can make the power lines break, and if a line hits the ground, it could lead to even bigger problems. I don't blame them for screaming. It looks pretty scary to see something like this go down right in your own neighborhood. So this story is about a real event that has been talked about for years. Some people find it spooky or weird. Some people find it magical, special. I'm going to let you decide for yourself. The boxing match between Luther McCarty and Arthur Pelkey took place on May 24th of 1913. It was at a place in Calgary, Ontario, really just an old barn set up for this much anticipated fight. The weather and sky was dark and cloudy, no sunlight at all. Inside, where 6,000 fans were cheering, the only light crept in from the creaky boards of the barn. As soon as the fight started, Pelkey hit McCarty with a quick 1-2 punch, including a strong uppercut that made McCarty's head snap back and a right punch that hit his chest hard. McCarty's legs gave out and he fell, part of him hanging out of the ring. Right then, as the ref came over to count him out, a strange beam of light shone down, lighting up just McCarty. The crowd went quiet. They were shocked, just staring at McCarty on the ground. The light vanished as quickly as it appeared when the count ended. Everyone was blown away. Unfortunately, attempts to revive McCarty failed, and he was declared dead right there, only 2 minutes into the fight. The photo from the fight above shows the weird streak of light, and many say that this is the only photo that exists from that fight. There's no clear explanation for how the light got there. Some are saying it's a hoax, but mostly because they don't have any answers. Of course, we could chalk it up as a fluke with an old camera, but despite the debates, the story and the photo have become famous in the boxing world, known as 10 seconds of light. Let me know if you guys have ever heard about this or have any other details. I stumbled on this and thought it was fascinating. Personally, I completely believe in stuff like this. It feels divine. People might say there's no way that light could shine through the roof of the building. There's a way. This video was posted online where two friends run into something super crazy in the woods. As they shine a flashlight deep into the woods, the person holding the camera confirms to their buddy that they were right about seeing something weird. Suddenly they see movement, scurrying. They spot the reason for their alarm, a figure lurking in the shadows that looks like some kind of skinwalker, human-like creature moving around. The guy with the camera tells his buddy, dude, take a shot. And bam, 3 shots ring out.
But what the is I told y'all there was something out here. Holy Shoot that motherfucker, dude. Hit that motherfucker. Dude, I think you missed it.
But it looks like they missed because the creature quickly zipped away into the woods. Okay, yeah, so that was a super eerie moment, but firing shots might not have been the wisest decision. I mean, it could have just been someone messing around, and next thing you know, you're arrested. You might have seen this video because this thing went viral. We can see a very common scene taking place in this girl's kitchen. She's doing a little work and is about to sink her teeth into the sandwich. As soon as she gets up and starts walking, the dog springs into action, jumping and putting his paws on her chest, which, come to find out, is a signal for her to sit down. Initially, she tries to kind of shoo the dog off, but he's persistent and she realizes what's going on now. Eventually, she sits down and the dog gives her the signal to stay seated. Once he feels she's stabilized, he runs to the counter and jumps up and grabs the meds and passes them off to her. Next, he hits the fridge, pulls it open, and brings her something to drink. You can see as she's overwhelmed by her dog's intuition. Man, dogs are great. A homeowner recently shared some unsettling security footage. In the video, a woman can be seen wandering around the property, looking lost and disoriented. She moves without purpose, wandering aimlessly for several minutes, seemingly unsure of where she's headed. It's important to note that Rainey's property isn't just any regular plot of land. It's nestled in a remote mountainous area, far removed from neighboring homes and major thoroughfares. On the night the footage was taken, the weather was particularly cold. It's puzzling to think why anyone would choose to wander around in such inhospitable conditions. In another segment of the video, the woman is seen clutching her arm, either because of an injury or perhaps as a protective gesture. Strangely enough, she doesn't appear to be seeking help. She doesn't call out to anyone or knock on any doors, despite seeming distressed. Rainey, puzzled and concerned, decided to share the video online. The hope is that someone might recognize the woman or shed light on the mysterious situation. After all, it's not every day you see someone wandering aimlessly on a cold night in a remote area, especially without seeking assistance. Let me know what you guys think about this. At first I thought it was going to be more sinister. Now I'm leaning towards someone that might have had a few too many cocktails. In a video shared by a man named Roger, we get a glimpse of his day spent gardening. It started as just another ordinary day, but in a twist of events, it took a turn that could have had serious consequences. Roger is seen suddenly falling to the ground, seemingly without any clear cause. But is that really the full story? If you pay close attention to the rock next to Roger's foot, you'll notice something peculiar. Just as Roger is about to take a step, the rock shifts on its own, seemingly without any external force. It's almost as if something invisible nudged it. This unexpected movement led to Roger's unfortunate fall and subsequent injury. Many viewers have put forth theories to explain the mysterious movement of the rock. Some suggest it might have been caused by a string attached to Roger's shoe, pulling the rock out from under him. However, this theory was promptly refuted by the person who uploaded the video. Another theory that has gained traction is a more supernatural one. Some believe that a poltergeist, a ghost or spirit known for causing physical disturbances, could be the culprit. These entities, as often described in folklore and stories, are believed to be capable of not only moving objects, but also causing more direct harm, like pinching, biting, or even tripping people. So the question remains, what really caused the rock to move under Roger's foot? Whether it's a simple explanation or something more eerie, the incident surely captured the curiosity of many. Next, we have a clip of none other than our favorite legendary primate. The creature seems to believe it is hidden in the trees as it watches hikers pass by. The moment it realizes the camera is on it, the creature swiftly disappears into the brush. But before it goes, we can get a clear look at its long brown hair and ape-like face. Like many other videos of Bigfoot we feature here, the creature wants to avoid humans at all costs. This is likely why it has been so difficult to capture irrefutable evidence of one. They don't want to be found. These creatures are extremely intelligent. It has been theorized that they live in small communities and either bury or cremate their dead, making it nearly impossible to find a Bigfoot carcass to study. Now that's definitely an interesting train of thought. Let us know your ideas on the matter. Our next submission is a rather frightening still image. This image didn't come with any context, so we have to examine it and judge for ourselves what is going on here. We are either looking at 3 humans in elaborate costumes or some type of dark forest creatures. If they are human, are they simply posing for a scary photo? Or could we be looking at costumes from a pagan ritual? Or perhaps they are shamans dressed to invoke the spirit of the forest? But what if they aren't actually even human? Could these be guardians or spirits that inhabit the forest? And if they are, what are they doing exposing their existence to someone with a camera? Every major culture has some incarnation of a forest spirit. They might have different names across different folklores, but they all have similar characteristics. If these beings were simply myth, then why do so many ancient cultures speak of their existence? The story behind this image is difficult to put together without more information. Maybe these beasts are simple scarecrows meant to ward off predators. The theories are endless. Let us know what you think about this image down in the comment section. This next video has been making the rounds on social platforms, and it's one you've got to see to believe. It was captured by a security camera right inside the mayor's office in Armenia, Colombia. Now, as you watch this video, pay close attention to the security guard. This guy is not messing around. He's using his flashlight to scan the area meticulously, leaving no stone unturned. He's obviously on high alert, doing his job to keep the place secure. But then, out of absolutely nowhere, something you can't see hurls him against a wall with such force that the wall itself which isn't exactly built like a fortress, gets damaged. I mean, we're talking about an impact that makes you wince just watching it. Now, it gets weirder. As the security guard tries to get back on his feet, it looks like something invisible is pinning him down. It's as if he's wrestling with thin air. But he's not alone for long. 2 of his co-workers rush in to help him out, clearly shocked at what they're seeing. Afterward, the security guard is visibly shaken. And who can blame him? He's convinced that a ghost attacked him. But get this, the mayor, his boss, also believes that something supernatural is going on. He even said that this isn't the first time someone on his team has reported a paranormal experience in that office. So a lot of people who have watched this video are pretty convinced it's the real deal, that something otherworldly is happening. Now I want to know what you make of this footage. Is it a genuine glimpse into the supernatural, or is there a more down-to-earth explanation? This video clip was uploaded to TikTok by a user. Seemingly captures a UFO gliding towards the moon. The footage has left many viewers scratching their heads, trying to decipher the nature of this unusual sighting. If you watch closely, you can catch the mesmerizing moment.
Oh my god. What did I just video? Oh my god. Oh my gosh, what was that? Oh, what was that?
The individual who recorded the video was evidently taken aback. Their reaction suggests a deep sense of astonishment, given that the event caught on camera is profoundly mystifying. As the footage unfolds, we observe what appears to be an unidentified flying object, zooming past the moon, almost as if it had just left its surface. Just as the object passes the moon's perimeter, there seems to be a discharge of some kind, possibly material, from the moon itself. At the time of discussing this, the original video had already garnered an astounding millions of views. This prompted thousands of curious commentators to weigh in, trying to decipher this incredible occurrence. Speculations are diverse. Some believe it might be a satellite, space debris, or even jokingly, Superman. One intriguing theory suggests it's an extraterrestrial vessel, piloted by aliens, skimming the moon's surface before taking off, leaving behind a significant trail of exhaust. On the more skeptical side, there's a belief that the object might be nothing more than a regular airplane. Supporters of this theory argue that moonlight might be reflecting off the plane's exhaust, creating an illusion of a luminous trail along the moon's edge.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, what was that?
Interestingly, several other viewers came forward, stating they'd observed something eerily similar around the same time this clip was taken. The video has stirred such a wide range of opinions that the original poster felt the need to upload another video. In this follow-up, the uploader urged viewers to maintain respect for one another's viewpoints.
Didn't mean to cause so much division. A lot of people are commenting and they're just kind of arguing amongst themselves. We don't have to fight. We don't know what it is. I think the common consensus is that it's an airplane. Okay, it's probably an airplane. The video is still super cool nonetheless. Doesn't really matter what it is.
Irrespective of their beliefs about the footage, sadly, the controversy took a toll. Due to accusations and harsh criticisms from some, claiming the video was fabricated, she released a tongue-in-cheek response, admitting to faking the footage.
Oh my god. What did I just video? Oh my god. Oh my gosh, what was that?
However, the truth remains elusive. No one can say with absolute certainty whether the original video showcases an authentic UFO or if it's merely a crafted ploy for views. Unless more substantial evidence emerges, this beguiling aircraft sighting will have to stand as one of the many unexplained mysteries of our time. Next up, we're diving headfirst into the heart of Indonesia's cursed river on a hair-raising adventure. This one's got everything you need for a good ghost video. Late nights, creepy monsters, and 4 brave friends ready to face the unknown. The locals have been whispering tales about this cursed river for ages. They say a mysterious creature lurks in the shadows, waiting to strike its next victim, but only under the cloak of darkness. And tonight, our daring squad is determined to uncover the truth behind the terrifying legend. As they sail through the murky waters, the tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Suddenly, out of the mist, they spot an eerie sight, an abandoned vessel just floating aimlessly. But you know what they say, curiosity can be a dangerous thing. One of the guys has an idea, a risky one mind you. He suggests tossing a bottle into the water just to see what happens. And boy, did they get more than they bargained for. As the bottle hits the water, it's like a ripple effect of terror. From the depths of the river emerges a strange-looking hand, with fingers so pointy they could give you goosebumps on sight. That ghastly hand snatches the bottle like it's nothing, and just as quick, it vanishes back into the darkness. Can you imagine the horror on their faces? But here's the kicker. We've got it all on video. That's right, these fearless friends captured the chilling encounter. And now we're left with a haunting question. What in the world is that creature lurking beneath the surface? Some kind of aquatic monster? Or perhaps a long-lost spirit trapped in the cursed waters? Recently, a video surfaced on Instagram that captured a police officer seemingly conducting a routine check or inspection. Equipped with a flashlight, he cautiously navigated through the dimly lit area. But out of the shadows, an ominous scream caught his attention. The intensity of the sound was so unnerving that even the brave officer, accustomed to facing danger, quickly retreated to his vehicle. The scream was hauntingly sharp and had a demonic tone that gave even the most hardened listener the creeps. Many viewers commented with their theories about the source of this eerie sound. A popular belief was that it could be the cry of a banshee. In Irish folklore, a banshee is a female spirit known to wail or scream when a family member is about to pass away. Another potential explanation is that the scream might have come from a creature known as a Drekavac. This entity, often associated with South Slavic myths, can be heard mainly during the 12 days of Christmas, locally referred to as the unbaptized days in Serbo-Croatian, and in early spring when legends say demons are most active. If the Drekavac appears in the form of a child, it's believed to foretell a person's imminent death. However, when seen as an animal, it's said to predict an impending cattle disease. Given these tales and theories, one can't help but wonder, did the officer unwittingly stumble upon and hear the legendary cry signaling death? There's a fascinating short clip that's been making rounds on Instagram recently. In it, we see a man simply walking along a path, just minding his own business. Everything appears perfectly normal, until all of a sudden, a car drives past. And then, just like that, the man seems to vanish, almost as if he had never been there to begin with. It's as if he's been swallowed up by thin air. The clip has ignited a lot of speculation and chatter on social media. A number of people are convinced that the video has been tampered with or edited in some way to make the man disappear. Some suggest it's just a simple camera glitch. Maybe they theorize the camera stopped recording momentarily when the car went by and started back up once the man had already moved out of frame. This could mean that the man didn't actually disappear, but simply walked out of the camera's view during that brief interruption. There's no shortage of theories and guesses about what really happened. But regardless of the explanation, the clip certainly has everyone talking and scratching their heads in wonder. Whether it's an optical illusion, a technical hiccup, or some crafty editing, it's become a bit of an internet sensation, and while we may never know the full truth, it's fun to speculate and join in on the conversation. In a video clip recently uploaded to TikTok, viewers are treated to a lively pool party scene. At first glance, it looks like any other joyful gathering, with people laughing and splashing around. But on closer inspection, something strange stands out. I encourage you to give it another watch, especially towards the end. There's a moment that's captured the attention, and sometimes the apprehension of many. Right at the clip's conclusion, a young girl dressed in white seemingly disappears before our very eyes. Now, there's a chance she simply moved behind a pole or some other obstruction just as the camera panned away. But that's not what's causing a stir. It's her overall appearance that has some viewers scratching their heads and others genuinely alarmed. This young girl has an astonishing aura about her. Her complexion is unusually pale, almost grayish, and she has strikingly dark eyes. Moreover, her dress doesn't quite fit the contemporary setting. Instead, it harkens back to a bygone era, making her presence even more jarring against the modern backdrop of a pool party. When you couple her clothes with her sudden and mysterious appearance, the result is an eerie moment that's hard to shake off. Several viewers have taken to the comments section, sharing their theories. Some suggest she might just be another partygoer who happened to be in vintage attire, but many are convinced that they've witnessed something supernatural. They argue that this could be a ghost caught on camera, and whether you're a skeptic or a believer, the mere idea is enough to give anyone a bit of a chill. Check out this trending video that's been making waves online. We've included this segment in our video to highlight the magic of optical illusions mixed with chance. These videos are important to dive into and give our viewers the chance to really take it apart. If we start to believe everything we see and don't have any standard for calling out obvious hoaxes or videos that are being passed off as mysteries, we won't have a leg to stand on. This case underscores that even baffling occurrences can often be rationally explained. Consider this bird seemingly hovering near a home security camera, moving without flapping its wings. It looks pretty crazy, yet it's an illusion. The bird is indeed flapping its wings, but they're matching the camera's frame rate, causing the bird to look like it's floating stationary. While walking in the forest, a group of friends saw something unusual that many believe is the popular creature called Bigfoot. In a video from 2008, the friends were having a good time when they suddenly saw a strange, tall figure standing among the trees. They tried to get a closer look with their camera, but the figure disappeared quickly. They were left wondering if they had really seen Bigfoot, or if it was just a joke. The unclear video made many viewers curious about what was really out there in the forest. Hey Dread Captures team, longtime watcher, first time submitter. I've got something you guys might find interesting. My name's Anthony, and I've lived in Northwest Vermont all my life. Spending countless hours in the woods and always having trail cameras set up, I thought I'd seen it all until this latest capture. I sent over a still image that, at first glance, might look like a typical gray wolf. Except it isn't. This thing is massive. We're talking well over 200 out. The stance, the intensity in its eyes. It's hard to tell if it's chasing something or if it's just annoyed at the camera flash. Here's where things get really eerie. For weeks now, the woods around my home have been silent. No birdsong, no chattering squirrels, nothing. The deer that used to frequent our yard vanished. My youngest daughter now refuses to play outside, whispering about the big shadow she's seen lurking about. Back to the photo. As massive as this creature is, the truly unsettling feature lies in its claws. They're off. Too long, almost misshapen. They don't look like anything I've ever seen on a predator around these parts. A buddy and I have been discussing the image, and he thinks that this behemoth is why the wildlife seems to have disappeared. Makes sense, considering the sheer size of this thing. It could easily scare off or consume most animals. But those claws? They hint at something else. Maybe something ancient? Supernatural? Would love to hear your thoughts, and whether anyone else has reported similar finding. If you feature this on your channel, please blur out the specific location. I've got a family to think about, and the last thing I want is to attract unwanted visitors. Be they creature enthusiasts or, heaven forbid, the creature itself. Stay safe and keep up the great work. Anthony from Vermont. P.S. If you need more footage or want to visit the location, drop me an email. Just come prepared. The woods here aren't what they used to be. This is a pretty crazy picture. Personally, it is a massive wolf for sure. But Anthony is right. Something is up with the claws. I just don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. By now, I'm sure you all have seen this, but if you haven't, well, you're in for a treat. Mexico's Congress had a hearing on UFOs and the potential of extraterrestrial life, but no one was expecting this to kick it off. Jamie Masson, who describes himself as a UFO enthusiast, made a grand entrance with 2 peculiar caskets. And inside, he claims they are stuffed bodies of aliens. The bodies have some familiar alien features: large heads, elongated fingers. They were supposedly discovered in Peru in 2017 and are believed to be over 1,000 years old. Now, before you jump on the extraterrestrial bandwagon, there's a twist. Masson has previously made some, let's say, questionable claims that turned out to be less than true. These aren't aliens. They are Peruvian mummies and their bodies were altered after death, says an expert from the University of Chicago. So, the big question now is, will Mawson allow an independent examination of these bodies? One member is quoted as saying, "The audacity to bring those into the congressional chamber. It's all a bit out of this world." Let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you believe, or is it just another tall tale? A Reddit user posted a mysterious photo taken by their hunting trail camera. This black and white snapshot, taken on July 31st, 2020, showcases the perimeter of their backyard fading into a more densely wooded area. What makes this photo particularly intriguing is the unexpected appearance of an entity resembling the upper body of a young woman. She seems to be donning a hat and dress, adding an extra layer of eeriness to the image. The person who shared the photo had just moved into a newly developed community, which was previously an old farm located north of Minneapolis. Upon first seeing the peculiar image, their initial thought was that their neighbor's 6-year-old kid might have decided to pull a playful prank on them. This idea seemed plausible at first, but what deepened the mystery were 2 subsequent pictures taken by the same camera. Neither of these shots showed the child, or for that matter, any other person nearby. This intriguing discovery sent waves of curiosity throughout the Reddit community. Many users felt a feeling of fear, speculating that this peculiar figure might be a ghost. But as the discussions grew, a crucial point was raised. The photo was captured on the very night of Halloween, making some users skeptical. They wondered if this might just be a well-timed trick, dismissing the image as possibly staged or a hoax. However, the original poster responded, stating they hadn't even made the connection between the date and Halloween at the time the image was captured. So, could it have been a mere coincidence? Or is there something more to this mysterious figure? As of now, without any solid evidence to tip the balance either way, the truth behind the image remains veiled in uncertainty. While some are convinced of a supernatural presence, others remain skeptical, believing there's a rational explanation. In this TikTok video that's been making the rounds, we see something that's both sweet and lighthearted. 2 young girls are in their yard at night, holding a flashlight as if they're on some sort of backyard adventure. They heard some mysterious noises and are curiously trying to figure out what's making them. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Unbeknownst to them, a sheep quietly appears and stands right behind them. It seems the sheep is just as curious about them as they are about the noises in their yard. Then one of the girls turns around and, surprise, she spots the sheep standing right behind them. Startled but also amazed, she bolts back toward the house, and her sister quickly follows. But just before they run inside, one of the girls takes a moment to give the sheep a gentle pat on the head. The sheep seems to enjoy the interaction and then wanders off, looking pretty pleased with itself. It's a simple, wholesome moment caught on camera, and it's been bringing smiles to faces all around the internet. This video, originally uploaded by a TikTok user, has been generating quite a buzz online and has left viewers feeling a bit uneasy. It features a strange occurrence that was captured by a home security camera at the user's cousin's house. The camera, positioned to monitor the alleyway next to the house, caught something unusual that has stirred up a lot of speculation and intrigue. In the video, a mysterious white form can be seen drifting past the camera. It's not clear what this shape could be, and it's definitely out of the ordinary. The uploader of the video openly wonders if it could simply be some smoke, or if it might be something more unexplainable, like a real ghost caught on camera. It's normal to think that the idea of a ghost being caught on camera may sound a bit far-fetched. We all know that there are many explanations for such phenomena that don't necessarily involve the supernatural. Sometimes, it's just a trick of the light or an optical illusion. Other times, it could be a result of a camera malfunction or a glitch in the recording. But let's not dismiss the idea of ghosts too quickly. It's not uncommon for people to claim to have seen or experienced ghostly phenomena. Some believe that these spirits are the souls of deceased people who are stuck between this world and the next. Others think that they could be residual energies left behind from traumatic events. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the fact remains that there is something about the unknown that captivates us and keeps us searching for answers. It's worth noting that the TikTok video doesn't provide a lot of context about the mysterious white form. We don't know if there were any unusual events or occurrences at the house that might have contributed to the sighting. So, it's tough to say for certain what this shape could be. Lainey recently shared a clip on Facebook showcasing her chicken in the backyard on a drizzly morning. At first glance, the video might seem rather ordinary, a simple moment captured on a damp day. However, if you pay close attention to the horizon, you'll notice something peculiar, an unidentified object swiftly moving across the frame. Given the rain and the gloom, it's easy to miss this detail. But if you take a moment to slow down the video playback, it becomes clear. An aircraft zips by at an astonishing speed. What makes this sighting even more intriguing is Lainey's mention that the nearest airport is a good 30 kilometers away. Considering the distance, it's quite remarkable that such a compact aircraft could move at that pace. This begs the question, did we just witness a potential UFO sighting? Or could it simply be a conventional airplane? The mystery remains, but the video is surely worth a second look. This is a crazy video taken down in Florida. The green iguana was introduced to the state of Florida back in the 60s. Like all invasive species, they enter their new ecosystem with an instantaneous leg up on all other life in that area. You see, every ecosystem has a trophic level, something we humans came up with to explain the massive exchange of resources between species. Primarily, their feeding relationships. The trophic level of an organism is determined by what it eats. Everything is fine until one of these invaders comes along and either fills the role of a native animal, which can lead to the rapid decline in the native species, or the new animal can actually create its own, new trophic level, which just throws everything even further out of whack. Both of these scenarios are no good. But when you add to the mix the fact that this new species does not have any natural predators to keep them in check, they will just keep multiplying, making the situation exponentially worse with each generation. So yeah, this bystander should have let nature play out. The video in question was uploaded to Instagram by a paranormal investigator named Greg Ludwig. He captured this intriguing footage late one night in his own backyard. According to Greg and his family, who live in the house, no one was in the backyard at the time the video was recorded. That makes what happens next even more puzzling.
Right here. You can see a shadow up here. Boom.
And no one's there.
In the video, a shadow suddenly appears near a lawn chair. What's really odd is that this shadow looks like it's being cast by a person standing next to the chair. But here's the kicker. There's absolutely no one there. It's as if the shadow just materialized out of nowhere. But that's not all. Alongside the mysterious shadow, a flashing light or orb also makes an appearance. It seems to hover near the shadow and stays there for a short while before disappearing. Now, for those who might not know, An orb is often described as a transparent ball of light energy, and many believe it's connected to spiritual entities. These orbs can show up in both photos and videos, and I've received messages from folks who say they've seen these balls of light on their own home security cameras. So the big questions remain. Where do you think these puzzling phenomena come from? And what, if anything, are they trying to tell us? Tammy Jackson is yet another homeowner who's had an unusual experience captured by her home security system. She has a Ring camera positioned in her backyard, and if you're not familiar with how these cameras work, they only start recording when they detect some kind of movement. So, something specific has to set it off. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Her camera picked up a figure that's pretty hard to describe. It was semi-translucent and shaped like a rectangle. Even more bizarre, it seemed to move in a really strange way, as if it were walking, but without any feet that you could see. It's not the sort of thing you'd expect to see strolling through your backyard, that's for sure. After this strange figure vanished from the frame, a motion-sensitive light in the area suddenly switched on. This leaves us with a couple of burning questions. What exactly triggered the camera to start recording in the first place? And what on earth was that odd entity that appeared on camera? Now, this is a crazy occurrence. A recent post on Reddit has caused quite a stir, leaving many in its community both intrigued and worried. It all started when a user took to the platform to share a strange incident involving their spouse, who happens to be a manager at a local restaurant. A few days earlier, during one of her shifts, the wife stumbled upon an unusual discovery, a trail camera hidden and pointed directly at the back of her restaurant. To make matters more suspicious, the camera was securely strapped to a tree located just behind the establishment. What's even more alarming was the fact that neither she nor the higher-ups at the restaurant had any inkling about this camera's existence. To provide a clearer picture of the situation, the Reddit user shared a photo of the peculiar trail camera, which only intensified the speculation and concern amongst the Reddit community. But the story took an even stranger turn. Sometime later, a man walked into the restaurant, identifying himself as a representative from Wildlife Services. He approached one of the waitresses inquiring about the discovered camera. Offering an explanation, he mentioned that he had been given permission by the management to set up the trail camera, which he valued at over $500 as part of an effort to find a lost dog. But here's where things get even murkier. Without waiting to speak to the restaurant's manager or clarifying further, he left in haste and was never seen again. Amidst the flurry of comments and reactions on the post, one particular suggestion stood out. A fellow Redditor advised that the restaurant should remove the trail camera's battery. As a countermeasure, they should set up their own surveillance to monitor whoever comes back to either retrieve or replace the camera's battery. On top of this, they also proposed an ingenious idea. If the individual tried connecting to the restaurant's Wi-Fi, the staff could potentially identify them by cross-referencing the device with the restaurant's Wi-Fi connection logs. The entire episode leaves a lot of questions unanswered. What was the real purpose of the camera? Who exactly was this so-called representative from Wildlife Services? These uncertainties have heightened concerns over the safety and well-being of the restaurant and everyone associated with it.